Boys, UFC Vegas 99 this Saturday. We're going to go through this entire card, give you guys my rare predictions on who I think is going to win and how. And you know, I looked at this card at first and I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as last week's card, but there are definitely some stinkers on this card. I think we're going to see a very, very high likelihood of a decision heavy card. Not going to lie, I only see like a few fights that don't go the distance on this card, but there's lots of fun fights on this card. Start off with the opening fight of the prelims, heavyweight division. Austen Lane taking on Robelis Despaigne. Austen Lane, you know, he likes to throw a lot of combos at once and back off and repeat, you know, in and out type of movement, but he's also just really slow for this heavyweight division, which says a lot. And you know, in some of his fights, he's shown to use some grappling here and there to win. But majority of the time, you know, the fight IQ of Austen Lane just isn't there. He's going to be a knockout or get knocked out type of fighter. 100%. If I'm Austen Lane, his key to victory is to take out and gas Despaigne. Because we all know what happened last time. Robelis Despaigne got taken down and held down. Also, Austen Lane coming off a KO loss is not a good thing when you're fighting someone like a Robelis Despaigne. I think the UFC is trying to give Robelis Despaigne one of the easiest layup fights in UFC history. You know, there's still a chance for this guy to be a big name in this heavyweight division. You know, he is a little bit too green in the UFC. He needed that fraud check, I'm not gonna lie. He desperately needed that fraud check. He needed to get his cardio in control. He needed to get that dog shit ground game under control, but people are forgetting he used to be called, you know, the Cuban Ngannou for a reason. This boy has crazy power in both of his hands. He has a good chin. He is very fast. The only thing, he's dog shit on the ground and has zero cardio. If I'm Robelis Despaigne, that's all I'm training after that loss. I'm training my cardio. I'm training my takedown defense. I'm training how to get up off the ground. And yeah, I think we're going to see a way better Robelis Despaigne than we did last time. I think we're seeing Robelis Despaigne knock out Austen Lane, which isn't the hottest take in the world, to be honest, because Austen Lane has zero chin, doesn't necessarily use much grappling in his fights. Robelis Despaigne, KO. I'm saying in the first round KO for Robelis Despaigne. Let's go down. This is where it's like a long ass bathroom break. We got 3 women's fights in a row. Starting off women's strawweight division, Melissa Martinez taking on Alice Ardelean. Now, Melissa, short notice fight for her. She had some stupid power in this division, but this girl has zero takedown defense and also hasn't fought in around like 2 years. Because she was coming off a knee injury where she had to go get surgery, I believe. I could be wrong about the surgery part, but she was off for 2 years because of a knee injury. Plus, this girl is just very, very small for the division and has questionable fight IQ, where Elise, her last fight, she also fought on short notice. This is a girl that everyone is making fun of, that the only reason she's in the UFC is because she has a stupid amount of followers on social media, but she looked way better than anyone could have expected, to be honest, and she arguably won her last fight. You know, she came into that fight, she looked decently strong, had good wrestling, a good clinch control, lots of volume in the striking. I think Elise wins this one pretty easily, to be honest. 30-27 decision win. I don't see a finish here, to be honest. I don't see many finishes in this card. But let's go down. Also, women's strawweight division, Jessica Penne taking on Elise Reed. Some of the most inconsistent women fighters in the UFC. Jessica Penne, it's almost been 2 years since she's fought. She's decently well-rounded and a veteran in the UFC. This girl's 41 years old. She has a grappling advantage, where Elise Reed, she has good output. She's the better striker by a mile. But she's also like a win one, lose one. Again, a very inconsistent fighter. And she has a better striking than Jessica, but Elise Reed's grappling is garbage. Jessica Penne is 41 years old, where Elise Reed is 31. Now, typically, the age doesn't really matter that much in women's fight because they're all just terrible, to be honest. So I'm not looking too much at the age for Jessica Penne. Elise Reed, again, too inconsistent. I'm going with Jessica Penne to actually submit Elise Reed, because Elise Reed's grappling, takedown defense, and just bottom game is just terrible. So give me Jessica Penne by I'll say halfway point, second round submission or rear naked choke. Also, let's go down women's bantamweight division. Joselyne Edwards taking on Tamires Vidal. Now, Joselyne Edwards, a good kickboxer who's really good at using her range. She has some technical striking. She has decent takedowns, decent takedown defense, decent grappling here and there. She's pretty well rounded, but Tamir, on the other hand, she's one of these sloppy, aggressive pressure fighters who wants to get it up against the cage, grind it out, and just wants to make it a dogfight. But does she have the best striking in the world? No. She has the pressure, the aggression, not that great on the ground, to be honest, and she doesn't have the best fight IQ. I'm going Joselyne Edwards. I think Joselyne Edwards is miles better than Vidal pretty much everywhere, to be honest, other than the aggression. But I think Joselyne Edwards is way better than Tamires Vidal. I don't see her getting finished. 30-27 though. Let's go down. Bantamweight division. Brad Katona taking on Gene Matsumoto. Brad Katona, of course, the only two-time Ultimate Fighter. This guy has good fight IQ, good volume, good footwork, good cardio. He's pretty well rounded, except he has like no power in his shots. You know, he'll mix down takedowns here if he needs to. Where Gene Matsumoto, also very well rounded, has a really good power double. He's good on the bottom. He consistently works his way to get back up if he's taken down. He doesn't just stay there and lets him get held down for the rest of the round. He tries to get up, but you know, this boy gets hit a lot. His striking defense isn't the best. He has a decent chin. He has better groundwork than someone like a Brad Katona, but the biggest hole in this guy's game is doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. He will, keep trying to get back up and up. He won't just lay there and allow himself to be taken down over and over again. He will get back up, but that's the biggest hole in his game. And to be honest, this is a fairly close fight where I do think it's going to go to a decision. And if it does go to a decision and it's very close, they're giving it to Gene. They don't want Brad Katona to win this one. UFC is scripted. Give me Gene Matsumoto by a 29-28 decision. Let's go down. Flyweight division. I believe this is the main event. These prelims, but flyweight division. Matheus Nicolau taking on Assu Almabayev. Matheus Nicolau on a huge downfall in his career, to be honest. He's a good technical striker, has good takedowns, good takedown defense. But this boy has a worse chin than probably 99% of the roster, to be honest. He's fought the better competition, but his chin is one of the biggest worries in this fight. Where Assu Almabayev, he's a very strong, heavy grappler with some pretty dynamic strikes here and there. He has a decent amount of cardio, good footwork. The striking, it isn't the best. Let's be realistic. The striking, we don't necessarily have to worry about Matheus Nicolau getting knocked out in this fight, because not only is the striking not the greatest thing in the world, he doesn't have that much power to them. So I think the grappling is going to be the biggest thing here, and I think this is a 50-50 type of fight. I could see Nicolau winning this one, but I'm going with Assu Almabayev taking the decision. Maybe Nicolau gets one round here. Give me 29-28 for Almabayev. I don't think he's going to finish Matheus Nicolau, but at the end of the day, this boy has no chin, so anything is possible. Let's go down to this main card. Featherweight division. Darren Elkins taking on Daniel Pineda. The battle of the unks once again. It seems like every card we're getting a battle of the unks here. Darren Elkins, he has a good pressure heavy game with good cardio. He'll also mix things up if he needs to. He'll go for takedowns if he has to. He's pretty durable as well, where Daniel Pineda, this guy has to be one of the faster starters in the UFC. He's good for the first round. It's first round or bust for Daniel Pineda. Cardio is non-existent past the first round. He has good hands, good grappling, but once again, past the first round, non-existent. Darren Elkins, in my opinion, is durable enough to get past the first round. 29-28. First round, Daniel Pineda. Second and third for Darren Elkins. Decision win. Let's keep moving down. Like I said, this is a very decision-heavy card. Let's go down. Bantamweight division. Brady Hiestand taking on Jake Hadley. Now, Brady, he's a good wrestler and good at winning the control time aspect of the fight. But his hands aren't the best. But this boy does have that dog in him. In one of his last fights, we saw he got dropped and almost finished, but came back, got that submission win. His durability is very good. He's able to recover super fast. Jake Hadley, he's a good striker. He's pretty well-rounded, and once he moved up to his bantamweight division, he looked a whole lot better, but I think he's going to be a little bit too small for someone like a Brady. And, he can get out-wrestled here, and I think Brady's just going to be too big, too strong for Jake Hadley, unfortunately. On the feet, yes, I think Jake Hadley has the upper hand, but I think Brady's going to take him down, win by a very heavily grappling-controlled game plan. Give me a 30-27 win for Brady. Let's keep going down. The featured fight, flyweight division, Charles Johnson versus Mudaerji. Now, Charles Johnson, he's a good technical boxer with good output, decent power, good cardio, good pressure-heavy game with good takedowns, good takedown defense, and honestly, pretty underrated grappling skills. Also, he's got that dog in him. We saw probably the best version of Charles Johnson in his latest fight against Joshua Van, just beating him up all 3 rounds, so he eventually got that KO, that nasty uppercut win. Where Assu, he's a super fast striker. He's stupidly fast with good accuracy, but this boy doesn't have that much power, because if he did, that would be way too overpowered. He doesn't really have the power to go with the speed or the accuracy. And to be honest, this guy has pretty bad striking defense as well, and hasn't looked that good in years, to be honest. Where Charles Johnson just seems like he's getting better and better every fight. I don't think he's going to get a finish. Again, give me a decision win. I think he's going to win every single round, 30-27. And yeah, let's keep moving down. Bantamweight division, the co-main event. We got Rob Font taking on Kyler Phillips. Rob Font, a good technical fighter, He has an okay chin. It's not completely gone yet, but is getting there. He has a decent cardio, okay power, okay defense, but he can't defend a takedown to save his life, to be honest. That's a path of victory that's been the game plan for everyone fighting Rob Font for the past few years now. Just take him down. And yeah, he can't defend a takedown to save his life. Where Kyler Phillips, good diverse striker. He will mix it up. He will go for takedowns if he needs to. He has good output, decent cardio. I think Rob Font is way over the hill. Kyler Phillips is an up-and-coming prospect. No brainer. I don't think he's going to finish someone like a Rob Font. We've seen that, since entering the UFC, Kyler Phillips hasn't got many, maybe 1 or 2 finishes in his career so far in the UFC. So yeah, again, give me a decision win. Do I think it's going to be a dominant one? Yeah, I think it's going to be another 30-27 decision win for Kyler Phillips. Going into this main event now, middleweight division, Anthony Hernandez taking on Michel Pereira. Hernandez, a very different fighter. Both these guys, the fighting styles are almost complete opposite. Where Anthony Hernandez is a very strong, good grappler with good submission threats, a good ground game, but the striking on the feet, that's what lacks. Where Pereira, he has some crazy striking, a very dynamic and powerful set of strikes with, he has good takedown defense, good takedown offense. He can KO or submit Anthony Hernandez, to be honest. We've seen in his last few fights, he ragdolled Igor and then tried to backflip off his skull, but ending up submitting him. And Michel Pereira is just more dangerous in the entire fight than Anthony Hernandez. And unless Michel Pereira completely gasses out, which we've seen him do, but not since he's entered middleweight, I don't see this boy gassing out, and I see him actually getting a KO win here by at least the second round. I don't think it's gonna go over the second round. Give me Michel Pereira by a KO. Yes, Anthony Hernandez, there's a possibility that he could submit someone like a Michel Pereira, but I think Pereira is going to be too dynamic, too powerful. I think his takedown defense is going to be good enough to stuff Hernandez's takedowns. And on the feet, Michel Pereira is leveled above Anthony Hernandez. Give me KO in the second round. You guys have to let me know in the comments, well, what do you guys think of this card? We're 1 week away from 308, so I can't wait for that one. And yeah, boys, quickly look at this. 99% of you guys just watch this shit for free. All I ask is you subscribe with those post notifications turned on. Your boy is on that goal to get to 1,000 subscribers, so help your boy out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. There's really not that much else left to say, except for I will see you guys in my next video.